Gentlemen's time's expired. We have a lot of members that are in and out because of other committee hearings, and we're going to continue to be flexible with that. So with that, we're going to go to Mr. Thanedar from Michigan for 5 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Administrator, for your passion and your access. I thought I'm the only member where you come and visited my district twice in the last 6 months, but looks like you've been all over the country. You came to our district. You and I walked on the streets and visited some small businesses that we had planned to visit. You also took the time to visit some people who approached us while we were there. And I really appreciate your passion. We heard firsthand some of the small business owners who benefited from the PPP and other SBA programs. So thank you again. Thank you for your help. I am a small business owner, ran small businesses for 25 years, wrote one of the SBIR grants that I got awarded. I took advantage of the 504 program, and that helped me tremendously to grow my small business, create hundreds of jobs in my business. Recently, I introduced the Lions Act, we call it, which is, being from Detroit and a Lions fan, so we were pleased to call that a Lions Act. But what it does is raises the 7A loan amounts from the 5 million to 10 million because the valuations have gone up, and it becomes more capital is needed for business owners to invest and grow their businesses. And my question to you is, how do you see this increase of 5 million to 10 million in the loan amounts? How much of a burden that is to get that accomplished? How much of an administrative cost that's going to add to? And just frankly, I wanted to know what you think about.
Yeah, we've similarly, are interested in seeing that expanded, especially as we see manufacturing and other critical industries needing additional capital. We know that SBA could fill those gaps in the marketplace, and you're right. It hasn't been changed since the Obama-Biden administration. Increased to 5 million. For inflationary pressures, it would be up in the sevens if we just changed it for inflation alone. So we agree that that money is needed. It would be simple to administer in terms of expanding the access that would benefit more of our banks and lending institutions who access those funds for some of their small businesses in their portfolio.
Thank you, Ms. Guzman. And going back to the questions being asked about the fraud, I want to point out that a lot of that happened during the Trump administration. The question raised about the people who were responsible in your department, and clearly, many of those people are no longer here because the American people, fired them. But my question to you is, your testimony mentioned pandemic relief funding and the potential for fraud. To paraphrase from the briefing, in an effort to disperse paycheck protection programs and COVID-19 funds swiftly, the SBA weakened and removed internal controls. In early 2021, safeguards were reinstated. One of the tactics was to install a screening process during loan approvals. My question is, can you make a statement on where the SBA stands regarding protections against fraud? Are these acts of fraudulent activity a risk for the clientele of the SBA or to the administration alone? How effective have the protective measures have been?
Thank you. The protections have been strong. As I said earlier, we've averted 21 million attempted fraudulent loans from accessing the COVID pandemic programs, which was over $500 billion worth. And so clearly the controls that we put in place have enabled us to get back to our normal standing of our decades of experience doing disaster lending, using the right controls in place. And so I'm very confident that with these added measures that we've now applied across our whole portfolio, despite the fact that the 78504 didn't experience the levels of fraud of the COVID pandemic programs, we are now strengthening our programs for the future alongside the financial institutions that are doing the same to ensure that fraud is not a problem in any of our programs going forward.
Thank you for your great work, and I yield back.